Hey Tatum, how are you?
I'm great, Dave. How are you doing?
Good. All right. Now, I as a kid grew up watching wrestling back in the '80s. I've lost track of who's who and who's wrestling where. So I've brought in Trina, who works here. Trina watches this stuff faithfully. She buys the pay-per-views. She knows who everybody is. She knows who's fighting who's arguing with who. She knows all this stuff. Now,
Trina.
Hello.
from my point of view, um, is wrestling something that growing up you wanted to do, or did this just kind of happen for you?
So I didn't grow up with wrestling. I've really had to grow into it. There was a moment where I watched Total Divas with my mom, and it's so funny because I remember her looking at me. I don't even know how young I was, but way too young. She was like, "I think you could do this," and I was
Hmm.
like, "What are the odds that opportunity, ever comes my way?" And it wasn't really until 2 years before I got signed to WWE
Hmm.
that I got my, interest to actually start learning how to pro wrestle. I was watching a lot of YouTube videos. Like I would sit up at my job. I worked at a supplement store and I'd put my phone up and I watched a ton of Alexa Bliss. She was a
Oh yeah.
huge influence for me. And I was like, I think I want to do this, but never did I think on a WWE level because it just seems impossible. Like, that
Hmm.
doesn't happen. So I was actually reaching out to local like wrestling schools just to learn how to pro wrestle and just kind of do indie shows. And I had a friend that I reached out to who lives in Florida. I was in Texas at the time, and I was like, "Hey, where can I learn to start pro wrestling?" She was really big in the wrestling scene, and just asking her got word of mouth to a WWE recruiter, and they were like, "Hey, in 2 weeks you
Hmm.
can try out at WWE," and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Whoa. And now we're here. It's a really crazy thing.
All right, Trina, you got questions for her?
Ooh, I have a ton of questions. But so I know you're a power lifter and you've won 2 championships. Did that help you when you were training to be a wrestler?
It absolutely did because I think it helped me stand out um, amongst a lot of athletes that were coming in because I was signed at a time where we were heavily bringing in athletes into the wrestling world, and yeah, I really feel like that strength really helped me get on TV much quicker. So when I originally debuted, I was with Diamond Mine, which they were just like these very powerful, strong faction. And if you look at me now, that's not what I am,
Hmm.
but it's kind of like a secret power I have because I feel like people looked at me and like didn't know that that's something I was like really really good at. Now I'm not even like a quarter as strong as I used to be. I have lost a lot of that strength, but at a time it was
Well,
really
you
really
can't
good at
tell
it.
on TV because
Thank
you're
you.
amazing. We were just watching some matches before. We're
Thank you
showing
so
Dave
much.
some. So
now, how much of what you do now is physical versus acting?
Oh my, it's all physical. It's
yeah.
I mean, there's storylines and there's other you have to there's things that happen between the matches, so you have the actual match itself, but you have to do your lines and get your shots. There's a lot of acting that with what you do now in wrestling, right?
So, what I will say is something that I pride myself on is my connection with the audience. And I don't like to get on screen and say anything that isn't real or true to me.
Hmm.
So, what you're seeing is a lot of real emotion. And I feel like something I've done really well here is connect with people. So, even if it's a live promo or a backstage that you're seeing on screen, like something that I really want to strive to do is show people real human emotions. Sometimes not everybody can relate to the wrestler that just, is kicks butt, wins
Hmm.
all the time and on top at all always. Now somebody like me who's at the top of the game right now is still somebody that feels a lot of emotion, is a little irrational, but it's very real. So everything you see come out of my mouth is something that either I have felt at a time or maybe I'm feeling right now. They've put me in a lot of vulnerable situations, and a lot of it is real emotion that you're seeing through the screen.
So Izzy's gonna turn on you, right?
No, I don't know why she would. I mean, she brought me in and like the darkest time that I have been through at my time with NXT, so I trust her with my life, and she will actually be there supporting me November 18th at MSG. I know she'll be there wherever I go, and she even told me she wants this title in the Culling for a very long time, and I'm gonna make sure, and I know she's gonna make sure that stays true.
Who are some people on the main roster or anywhere else in the business that you would like to have as an opponent? Like your dream opponents?
Gosh, there's so many.
Top 3.
Top 3?
Yeah.
Okay, Rhea Ripley for sure. I know we all say Rhea Ripley, but like for good reason. Like she is such a phenomenal wrestler. I could talk for the rest of my time about Rhea Ripley, but she's so incredible. And a lot of my other people that were at my top, I've actually gotten to wrestle, like Asuka, Liv Morgan. Those were people that I always wanted to check off my list. But so I have Rhea. I would say Io. I feel like I could learn a ton.
Yeah, that'd be a
from
good match.
Io. Yeah, that would be really fun. And then let's see who else. Jade Cargill. I think I would really like to have a match with her. I've
That'd be
gotten to
good
work
too.
with her in ring a little bit, and it was like I was like, "Ooh, I kind of want to work with you some more. This is really fun."
Now the belt you have, is that something that you carry with you all the time?
Oh yeah.
Is it a shared thing? Does somebody else have it and they just gave it to you? How does the belt work?
It is mine now. Like there's only one original belt,
Mhm.
which is this one right here that you're seeing, and whoever is the owner of that belt at the time, they take it with them everywhere. Like it comes to my house, it goes in my car, it goes in my locker. It is with me all the time.
It's your best friend.
Oh yeah,
You have a place to store it at home, like a special display area?
in my suitcase.
Okay.
Because we're always moving around. I actually do have a replica that is, kind of up on display in my living room that looks just like it. But as far as the real one, I have it in a nice little sack, and it stays in my suitcase, where that suitcase is attached at my hip and goes with me everywhere.
No, where do you want to go with this? Where do you want to be in 3, 4, 5 years from now?
So honestly, and this is kind of going back to what I said earlier, my biggest goal is just keeping a connection with the audience. Now, being in NXT, obviously our goal is to make it to Raw and SmackDown, and I'm in no rush to get there. I would love to be, but I trust their timing. Whenever they see a spot ready for me, I trust them entirely to, take me there whenever they're ready for it, and I'm ready to go. But I'm also happy here in NXT. So in 4 or 5 years, however long my career here in WWE is, without a title, I just want to continue connecting with the audience. That is my biggest goal. And now that we're actually going to be traveling a lot more with NXT, for example, on the 18th at Madison Square Garden, we're going to have Gold Rush. It's going to be in New York, so it's going to be a new audience. Normally, I'm used to Orlando audience all the time, so I'll get to kind of see how I can relate to a new audience.
All right, so it's going to be on Tuesday on the CW at MSG. Been great talking to you, Tatum.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.